Howdy ho, my crafty friends. This is Lori at the Ladybug Journals, and I'm so glad that you joined me today. So today, in our little art journal, we are going to play with some texture and, of all things, some crayons. So if you don't have crayons on hand, you can use these little wax beads. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You know, these little pellets. You know, they look like this. But I thought, you know, crayons, it's you know, back to school season. Probably pretty much everyone has a crayon. And these little wax pellets are the same as crayons. Crayons are just a little more pigmented than these. So I thought we'd play with crayons. So I went to my local Dollar General store. I literally have two in my little tiny town. One of them is like, I don't know, I can walk to it. Literally, you guys, I can walk to it. Walk out of my house and it takes me, I don't know, it's less than a quarter mile. I can literally walk to it. So these little crayons, when I opened the box, they smelled like wax. So I think if kids tried to color with them, they would be more wax than color. So I thought, you know, anyone that doesn't have these little pellets, they could use crayons and vice versa. So I thought we'd play with them. And I thought to get the color off of the crayons, I'd use my little palette knife. It's just a little plastic palette knife that I got in a set at Michael's. And to melt some of this stuff, let me drop these back in the box here so they're not rolling all over the floor and the dog's, you know, picking them up and shredding them. You know, because he will. Because that's what Yorkies do. They chew on them and, you know, make a mess. And to melt these, I have my little wax melter, and you've seen me use this before. It's a little electric melter. Comes with this little handy dandy, you know, melting tool, and this is the little button that you use to turn it on. And I've had it on and getting warm. And we're also going to use just a variety of things that I have on my desk. And honestly, normally I would be putting this stuff in the trash, except for the dyed cheesecloth. So I thought we would just maybe make, you know, backgrounds and see what we come up with. This, I picked up off the floor right before I turned on the camera. This is just a piece of dyed coffee paper that is a cutoff. This we used in making our cover of our journal. Remember, this is my bubble wrap. I told you don't clean it. So these are the colors of the acrylic paint that dried on it. And I'll leave it like this. I'll use this again and again and again and again. And these colors will come off the next time I use it. So I'll get some really cool looking stuff. And this is from my favorite candy. If you guys have ever seen me, if you followed me, you know Dove is my favorite. So I saved some of these. I know they're shiny and you're probably not seeing the inside, but I like using these. And then I have a book page. I have a piece of, this is packing paper that I had dyed with some inks. And I have some Tim Holtz ephemeras. I have my little ephemeras that I got from, oh gosh, I can't remember who I got them from. Let me think for a minute. This little piece right here on top is Tim Holtz. I think these down here are from the Paper Outpost. This one down here, all these others, these brown colors, are from the Paper Outpost. Pam at the Paper Outpost. If you haven't seen her paper packs, her ephemera packs, you really need to go check them out. She's got some nice ones. And then these are Tim Holtz Field Notes ephemera. So there's just a variety of stuff here. I've got some of my favorite stamps that I thought we'd check out because you never know. And I inked the page And it's ink. It's not oxide. I used ink, the Distress ink, the Vintage Photo ink, because I didn't want it to run. And I used it on our little card that we make at the same time. And I also have our little, mushroom, those little stickers, that we've been using, that I showed you before. Here's the little stickers. And they repeat. So, just in case, because like I said, I just don't know what we're going to do. Okay, so the page is inked and the ink is dry. I've given it a minute to soak into the paper, because I didn't want it to be all over my hand. Now, I don't want the crayon everywhere. I don't want it all over the page, because then nothing else will stick to the page, because it's wax. And wax does not allow everything to stick to it. Oh, and for glue, I'm using my tacky glue, because I know if I do happen to hit a little bit of wax, this will let it stick. So I'm using my tacky glue today. So let's get this over here out of the way. And we've got our page and our little card handy. Now, let's pick out some colors to work with. I do think I want some of the oranges. So let's see what colors are in our... And this is just the basic 24 count. And I think I want the yellows. And let's try some of the peach. Let's throw some peach in there. I don't think I want any of the blues. I could change my mind. And what's this? Oh, this is called citrus. That's kind of a pretty color. Maybe some of the poppy. I think we're going to stick with some of the fall colors. Honestly, I'm ready for fall after the summer we've had here. So let's throw those back in there. I'm not ready for cool colors. I think I want the warm colors. Now, in here, let's pull some of them out that match. So there's our crayons. So in here, I think I'm going to pull out, I think that's kind of a reddish orange. We're going to pull out a gold, yellow, that little copper. That copper is really pretty. And let's see here. This one's pretty. That one will work. And I think I have some others over here in the box that we can get out. Let's see what we have here. This is more of the copper. I use this color a lot when I make stamps. Let's pull out a peach, because I think we have that peach crayon. These are more of the brighter colors, but I do want that yellow, that kind of a yellow color. Those are more springy colors. Let's close that up so that's not bouncing around everywhere. Oops, I forgot our stir stick, so let's go on and get it out. Okay, now if you do work with these, any of these, you need to remember to be really careful, because these do get hot. It does get really hot. Okay, there's some of the green. Oh, we didn't get out a green crayon, did we? Let's see what color green is in here. Oh, that's kind of a bright, springy green, isn't it? Yeah, I don't want that. Whew. Yeah, it still smells really waxy. Okay, so on the crayons, I think I kind of want them, I want them to spread to the corners and maybe across the middle. Now, I don't want it a lot across here, because that's where it's tied in. And I want this to be able to move. And I don't want it to interfere with our string here. Let me make sure I've got it going the right direction. Yeah, I do. I don't want it to interfere a lot with my string, so I don't want to get a whole lot across here. A little bit would be okay, but I don't want to get a whole lot, so I kind of want to keep it light across that string. If I get it too much, it'll break. So I need to be careful with what I put across there. And I have my mat that we can pour it on if we want to. You know, if we want to make a shape, we can pour it on there. Otherwise, we can just pour it directly on the paper. Now, let me grab these other colors right here. There's kind of a goldish color. Yeah, ran out of room on the table. And those are some of the seals that we can use. And we can make, let's see, that's a mushroom we can use if we want. And there's a dragonfly. So we can make some other seals if we choose to go along with some of the things that we have out. And if we want another cup, there's one. Let's see, there's a smaller mushroom. That's a bumblebee. I don't think I want a bumblebee this time. Oh no, that's not what I want. Okay, so there's 3 of them that we can use. And I think that'll work just fine. I think that'll work just fine. Okay, so let's try our crayons first. Let's see how they work, because we know these work. We know the wax seals work. So let's get out some of the goldish color wax seals. These are a light, when these melt, they get to be a really light color. Kind of a golden yellow. They look like honey, actually. So let's play with our crayons first, because I've been dying to play with these crayons. Oh, there's the brown. There's the brown. Okay. And I've been wanting to put it over this cheesecloth. So let's cut a piece of this cheesecloth in half. There's my scissors. Because I want to put a piece on both. I want to put a little piece on our card. Okay. Let's see. That one might be... Is that one going to work on this piece? That one might be too big on this piece. There. I think that piece will work there. Now, I also have this piece of burlap that we could use. So we'll put that there. Here's that one. Now, I do have more cheesecloth if we want to put some over there on the other side. Okay, so let's unwrap our crayons here, and maybe start with, here, let me get rid of my jacket so I don't get crayon melted on it. Let's put it over there on the other chair. Let's get another piece of this for our book. And that might protect that. That might protect that there. If we maybe take the cheesecloth across, that might protect that. When we put that on there. So let's unwrap our crayons here. Let's see here. You know, even as a kid, I hated unwrapping crayons. I hated it. You know, all the kids in my class, they didn't mind doing it. Their crayons were a mess. Mine were always neat. And when it came time to use, do you remember those little sharpeners? Remember the big pack that you could buy? That great big, I don't know how many were in it. The, like 79, 76, 112, I don't know. We never got them. We always got the 24 pack of crayons. My mom used to tell us, if you can't come up with something with 24 crayons, you're not very imaginative. There we go. All right. My mom's favorite subject was not art. She always thought it was a waste of our time. She always told us to get outside and play. She wanted us to be athletic, not sit around wasting our time. But I like to read. I would love to sit in the corner and read a book and just get away from it all. My house was very noisy. There we go. All right, let's get this paper off of here. I don't know. Maybe we'll keep it. Maybe we'll use it. Maybe we'll use it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little palette knife and in our little cup. Now, I do have paper towel because you have to keep this little cup clean. When you're done with it, you have to clean it before you put anything else in it. You have to wipe it out. So I'm going to sit this down on my paper towel. And it does get very, very hot. So you do have to be very careful. If you're doing this with your kids, your grands, don't let them do this part because this little handle right here gets very hot. All the metal pieces get very, very hot and they will get burned. All right, so I'm going to scrape this off. You know what? Maybe we can cut some of it off here. Let's try that. And maybe give us some little pellets. Let's try giving us some little pellets here. Let's try our scissors. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, these are really soft. They're full of wax. All right, so here's some brown. Let's melt some brown. Here, let me scoot this over so you can see. It's melting really fast. That tells me this is mainly wax. Can you see how fast it's melting? And this is your little stir stick, if you have other colors in it. Okay, so we'll put this little pellet piece that we cut over there. Oh wow, that melted faster than the regular pieces do. Okay. Here we go. So now we have some brown. Ooh, and that's very liquidy. So I'm going to just let this sit and cool off before I dump it on my book. And I'm going to get the other one, this other one that we had. I'm going to let this cool before I do anything with it. And I'm going to put this one in here to heat up. And I'm going to do the same thing with this orange. But now that I know they melt so fast, I'm going to cut some orange. And maybe, let's see, what color was this one called? That was called flax orange. And I'm going to cut, this one's the citrus. I'm going to cut a piece of that. And maybe, let's see. This one is Mango Tango. We'll cut a piece of that. Okay, so after this heats up here a little bit, let's see. Yep, that is hot. That got very hot. Okay, so I'm going to drop in the, what color was that again? The citrus first. And I'm going to get it going. Make sure you can see it. And I'm going to do just like I do my pellets. Once they get going, I drop in the colors and I don't mix them. Now let's see if this is, wow, that cooled very fast. Look at that. Okay, so we can, that cooled back very fast. All right, so there's our experiment with the brown. We can melt that and cool it quickly and then put it back. That cooled fast. That cooled in the time it took me to cut these. So that's how quickly that brown cooled. All right, so here goes the orange. The mango, I think it was what it was called. No, the flax orange, and now the mango tango. And I think with these, I'm going to put them in our little mat as they come out. And we're going to do a mushroom. Okay. And the red. Okay, we got to get that paper off of there. Okay, I'm not mixing these three colors up. I want them to stay, kind of floating with each other. Now, maybe, let's see if we can scoop up a little bit of this brown and add just a tad of the brown on top. Just a little bit here and there. There. There we go. I'm just going to let the brown float wherever it floats. Kind of like the way watercolor does. Okay, let's get this red down in there. Now I'm not mixing it, I'm just pushing the red down into the heat. There we go. I don't want it out of the heat. And the brown's still mixing around a little bit. Now the next one that we do, I'm going to leave the brown on the bottom. And I'm going to put colors on top of it. And we're going to see how it does. And I don't know how much this is going to dump out to when we start putting it in here. But I think with the brown, I want to just put it, when we make the brown one, I just want to dump it on the card itself. Let's see, I need to see if these are melted. I think they are. I don't feel any of them. Okay, let's dump them into our thing here. That didn't give us very much, did it? I don't think the crayon's going to give us a very good mold. All right, let's wipe this out. But the color that leaves on the inside is really pretty, isn't it? All right, so let's wipe this out real quick. I think we would be better off just dumping it on the page, because it cools so fast. Okay. All right, let's see how it worked here. All right, we're going to warm the brown back up. Oh, it did give us one. All right, so that one's our crayon. So I think we're going to let it cool before we do anything with it, but we're going to put our crayon there. Now, I do need to break off the edge of this. Otherwise, our book isn't going to close. There we go. Now, I'm going to heat that brown back up. I do need to clean my desk off here. Or I am going to have a mess all over my shirt. And once that brown gets cleaned up, or melted, we're going to bring our card over. And once everything I put in, it gets melted, we're just going to dump it on the card. And I think I'm going to add some of this Crayola paper to it also. So we're going to add the red. Where'd the yellow go? And some of the yellow. It looks kind of green, doesn't it? We're going to put some of the green underneath it. Okay. So I want this color. Oops, come here, you. So I've got brown in there. I'm adding some of the citrus. Now with this, I'm just going to dump it directly onto here. I want to add, what color is this one? The poppy orange. Oops. All right, and I'm just going to let them melt, and I'm just going to dump them on the card. That's all I'm going to do with it. I've been wanting to play with crayons all week, you guys. I don't know why. I think because it's back to school season. Okay, so on this, I think the next thing I want to add maybe is that circle. That kind of blends in too much. I do like these crayon papers, though. All right, we're going to let that all blend. I think we're going to add maybe, let's add the brown one under here. Like that. We'll put that up there. We'll put that there. Okay, what's this? Well, that's just a scrap piece of paper. All right, let's just dump this on our card. Let me make sure you can see me. Okay, let's warm up the rest of it that's in there. Where's the scissors at? Now, if you don't have one of these little warmers, I even played with my dryer. You know, the little dryers that we use for our projects. And it works fairly well. I took one of my little cards and I put scrapes. I took an old knife and I scraped pieces of a crayon underneath it. Do you remember whenever we collected leaves, like in elementary school, and you scraped old pieces of crayon and then you melted it with an iron? That works too, to give you the colors. So you can do that with your with an iron. You can do that with your heat gun. But to do that, you need to put something like wax paper over it. You need to put something to protect your work surface, because you don't want to use an iron and have your work surface get scorched. You want to make sure that your work surface is protected at all times. So make sure your work surface is protected if you're going to use that. So, but the iron did work well when I had the wax paper down. The heat gun worked well without it. And then I took a piece of this and I just colored swatches, and I took my heat gun and went over it, and the colors just kind of melted into each other. So there are ways. Let me see if I still have it here. I might have already put it away. They just kind of melted into one another. I must have already put it away. The colors will just melt into one another. Where when you color them on the paper, they start out. Okay, where's that little poker at? Here, I want to hold this down while I do this. When you start out, they start out kind of shiny, and then when you put the there you go, as you iron on, as you use the iron, your heat tool, they just blend into your watercolor paper. So that does work, and it gives you a really cool look. Ouch! To what you're doing. Told you it was hot. So you can do it that way too, to give you a different look with crayons. And then, of course, you can use your crayons just for blending if you're coloring. That's fun to do. Yeah, I think that's already too dry. That's fun to do. You can also, when you do that, when you use your crayons for blending, you want to make sure that you color in, just like we did there. You want to color in from one color to the next. You don't just color up to the line. You color in one color to the next. All right, let's see if I caught it in time. Oh, we got a light impression. There, I got a light impression of it. So I have a mushroom on my page. There we go. So we will mark this page as crayon, and I can use that, and I can glue down those edges so that they aren't getting caught, and I'll let that dry completely. Now let me wipe off this crayon off of here, and let me move this away from my arm. Okay, so now for the rest of our texture in our book. Okay, I think this this video might be longer than 30 minutes because I know you guys know I don't edit my videos. You get what you get, and unfortunately, and sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. Okay, so let's finish in our book here. Okay, we don't need that. Okay, so I think we're going to now take some of these little things that we chose. Okay, and let's pick a few colors and see what we come up with over here. Now, when we glue, we're going to maybe glue that one down. Oh, that one really didn't have any brown in it, did it? It had this color in it. It had that color in it. And it had this color in it. So maybe we'll stick these underneath there. So we'll put these together so we have that crayon. Now this one, here, let me shake the crayon out of this. This one, these don't cool as quickly, so we can dump these on our page without them drying so fast, which, you know, is kind of what I wanted to do. So let's bring our heat source back in. And let's wipe that crayon off of there. All right, let's get this back in there to heat up. And I think I want to do some of these golds. Let's do a couple of those. And I think we'll do this mushroom. And maybe we'll throw this red in with the gold. And here's that darker gold that we picked. So we'll let all those go. And now on our page, let's get our texture going on our page. So let's see what we have here. Let's see. I don't know that I like any of those, but I think I do like some of this. And I know I like this. This is some of my favorite. So I think we need to make some more of this. So that's always a fun video. It's nice and messy. Yep, that is messy, messy, messy. Okay, let's get that over there. Let's get this over here out of the way so it's not boinking anyone like me. Alrighty. Let's see here. I think I want some of this book page. What's this book page? Is this? No. Oh, wait. Look here what I found, you guys. Look what I found. I found some background pages we can play with. Let's get some of those. They're always fun. I bet they have some fun things in them. So I found this that we can maybe put under there to give us some color. Oh, yeah, this will be good. Let's see, I don't want the map. Nope, I think I want this. This has got lots of fun color in it. Oh, no, here's the red. Here's one with red. Yep, I think we're going to use that one. We're going to use that one. That's what we're going to use. Because of the red that we just put in for our mushroom. And we're going to tear it off here. Let's get some of that red. All right, where's our little thing here? Our red and our gold. Let's do a light mix. Just a little twirl. There we go. Let's wipe this off. Okay. Let's bring this in. And I'll show you. There we go. Now, I usually just leave the colors in it. Kind of like with my watercolors and things. I leave the colors in it and I just add to it. So I'm going to add that one. I'm going to add some yellow. I'm going to add another one of those. I think I'm just going to add those and I'm just going to let them melt until I'm ready for them. All right, so on this, I think I'm going to add some of this over here down the side. Over here like this. And this one, we're going to give a good tear. I just want these rough, scruffy edges, just like this. I don't want anything that's nice and neat. I want rough, scruffy edges so I can scruffle it up some more. There we go. I want some scruffle. You all know what I like. Let's see, how big is this? It's a little bit too big, so let's tear it off here some more. There we go. We're going to fold it up. We're going to tear it up. We're just going to schmuck it up real good, like it's been laying in the dirt, because after all, a mushroom's going to go on it. So we're going to make it look nice and dirty. It has to look like I've just pulled it out of my, let's see, let's use some gathered twigs on it. It has to look like I just pulled it out of my recycling bin. Okay? And I'm not worried that I'm getting my mat because I'm going to put this little piece of paper under it. I can clean my mat. There we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, let me scoot this up because I just realized you guys can't see what I'm doing here. Okay, so I want the red to show because we've got red in our, there, just like that. And maybe we'll put that underneath it like that. And we'll move something over here, or maybe we won't put anything over there. Yeah, I like that. And then maybe on the other side, we'll take, yeah, I like that. We'll take this page. We'll take this little piece here, and we'll do the same thing. Actually, let's just schmuck it up. Let's fold it up. Okay. Let's not be gentle with it. Okay. Let's tear up a corner. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I like that. I like it. Okay, and then on this side, we're just going to take a little piece. Let's find a good grungy piece. Let's get a good grungy piece. And we're going to put the little piece at the top. Oops, quit scooching around on me there. Let's see here. We're going to put this over here. All right, let's go on and get this glued down because we're going to put our... you all knew I'd forget the name of that, didn't you? I think I like the other side better. Okay. Okay, our wax is just about ready. Actually, it is ready, but I'm not. Okay, that's going to go there. This is going to go here. This is going to go here. Okay, so let's get this, get a little bit of glue on here. Now, since this is wet white glue, you know, I'm not soaking it and wax is going to go on top of it. So I'm not really soaking it. See, I didn't soak it with glue. You know, there's just really no sense in soaking it. It's wet enough. Okay. Now this piece, I kind of want it at an angle to look like it's been torn out of this over here. I want it to look like it was torn. Oh yeah, I like the other side much better. It's darker. But I'm making sure that I got all the way to the top up there, because that'll be the piece that catches on everything. And I don't want it tearing through the wax that we're going to put on there. So, but I do want, come here, you little devil. But I do want it to look like it's tearing out of the book there. And to do that, we're going to have to go like this. And I know, I just messed up my glue, didn't I? There. So we're just going to ink right down through there, just like that. Now this piece, when we glue it down, we're going to do the same thing. We're not going to load it down with glue, because that's just not needed. It just makes the paper too wet. And I've beat up on it enough. And the little piece can stick through there. And I can put it right up to there. Okay. And then this can come right over the top of it. Now this is the tricky part. This is why I didn't load it down with glue, because I'm putting glue right over the top of it to hold that down. Okay. Now your book, if you do something like this, your book has to sit open until all this dries. Okay. You just have to. Otherwise, you know, your pages are going to stick together. Okay. And anything that's, you know, too big, you can trim off, of course. Okay. And after you get it on, anything that you want stuck down more, you can stick down more. Now this is all melted here, so you can see it. It's all melted. Trying to get it all stuck up here without burning my hand. There, so you can see it's all melted. All the colors that I left in it, everything that I added. So I can take my little stir stick and I can go through it and I can swirl it around to get all the... And now you can add glitter to this if you choose. I have made... There we go. That's exactly what I want. I have made some of these with glitter. You know, I've put some glitter in them, like that one. I've used a really fine glitter. That one's a space one. And then there are others that I haven't. So if you're going to put glitter in them, now's the time to do it. If you're mixing them up and you're adding glitter, now's the time to do it before you put your stamp on them. Okay? Okay, so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to... Let me show you what I'm doing. And I'm just drizzling it. And I want some of that red. I'm waiting for that. There it goes. There's the red. That's what I want out. And this little stir stick. Okay, so I need to put this back in. In my little clamp, I need to clamp that page down. And my little stir stick here, I need to take and get the rest of that red out while it's still warm. That's what I want out. I want that red out. Okay, let's get this off. Okay, now I'm going to turn this off. Okay. And I'm going to scoot this over here away from my arm. And I'll let those dry. And now the one that we put the stamp on, and this one that we did, I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to peel off of here. There's that one. And here's the crayon. Okay, so there's both of them. Okay, so I like this one for this page. Whoops. So I want this one, I think, down here. Maybe not. Maybe I'll put it over here. Like this. With these papers. Okay. Here's the red paper that was in it. And I'm just going to glue them down. And then this one I'm going to put up here. Like that. Now this book will have to stay open all night for everything to dry. Okay, but I have my pages clamped down so that nothing else can move around. Now I need to get the top to my ink here and get it covered up. Okay, I don't particularly like that with that. So I might make another one with these colors. Or see if I have one. There's a tree instead of a mushroom. I might use the tree. And put the crayon mushroom over here. Okay, so I need to get my papers all glued together. Let's get these glued together. And then we'll glue them down. Okay. Okay, so we've got these here. Okay, there's the Crayola papers. And then our Crayola mushroom is going to go right on top of it. Oops. All right, so now this I do need to put some glue on. All right, I'm so glad you all joined me today in our adventure with crayons and wax. This was fun creating this page of textures and colors and playing with our, whoops, I just broke it. So you're going to have to be really careful with your crayons because they will break. Playing with some more of our supplies that are in our craft room that we just don't think about. They just sit there and, whoops, yep, it breaks. So you guys need to be really careful when you play with it. There we go. Yep, you need to be really careful. There we go. I do like the way that the brown floated into the mushroom. Can you guys see that? That looks nice. I do like that. Okay. Yeah, and I do like the tree with this color over here. But I do think I'm going to put it up in here. Now, another good way to apply it, if you do make seals, is you can heat them up and use the hot wax to apply them. That works well. You can use some of the hot wax that's left in your spoon, you know, after you pour this. You can use that hot wax to apply them to your paper. I usually just use glue because the hot wax will go through your paper. And if you want to put anything on the other side of the paper, it will go through the paper. Now see, we could have brought in some of the red. You know what? I think I'll do that. Let's take this off. I think I like the red. Yeah, I'll just wipe that off. I like the red. I know, I'm finicky. I know. I'll dry off the back of it. I didn't like it all green. I'll wipe it off. There we go. Now I'll have to let this now sit out and dry before I put it away so it doesn't stick to anything. I'll sit it on top of my... There we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do like that better. It picks up the red from the other side and the red that's kind of drizzling through here. There we go. So there's our page for the day. So as everything dries, I can write down here that this is wax. And I can write over here that this is our Crayola seal. And I think this is dry enough that I can write that this was our experiment with Crayola. And this will be a fun... Oops, see, now this I'm going to have to glue down better. Maybe with something else. This was our experiment with crayons. This is going to be a hard one to use because it does not stick. See, even though we glued it, it is not sticking. So this is going to be a hard one to deal with. I'm going to have to figure out a way to make that work. And if that one's not sticking there, this one might not stick in the book. So, if it doesn't, I'll let you know in the next video what I do to fix that problem or what the problem, if the problem persists. So thank you all for joining me today in the craft room and around the craft table. It's always fun to have other people, you know, playing with you around the craft table. I always have so much fun when you join me. So I hope you come back again as we play around the craft table and create and have some fun. And don't forget that you can like and share our videos, especially the ones where we're creating in our little craft journal. And if you haven't made one, this is what it looks like. It's fun and it's easy, and the video's been posted, so you can create one too and play along. And you can have your friends create one, and you guys can create together, of course. Don't forget, you guys can create on different days if you want. I post videos for the craft journal on Mondays and Thursdays, and then on Tuesdays and Saturdays are other fun videos. And you never know, there could be an art journal video on those days too. You just never know what I'm going to get into as I'm exploring my craft room for some fun things to do. So until I see you in the next video, ta-ta for now.